I'm Aaron Wiltshire, Head of Projects at ETOA, the European Tourism Association, one of the parties delivering the Partnerships in European Tourism programme on behalf of the European Commission, alongside the European Travel Commission and ECTA. This is the pre-departure webinar ahead of the Berlin edition of the Partnerships in European Tourism programme. During this webinar, I'll provide an overview of the events taking place in Berlin during the week of the 5th of March, which includes a conference on water routes, a matchmaking bringing together European businesses with operators from Chinese and US markets, as well as ITB itself, one of the world's largest travel trade events, where the European Commission will also have a stand. I hope that this webinar provides helpful information which will allow you to prepare for your time in Berlin. Don't forget to ask questions throughout using the chat function, which I'll endeavour to answer at the end of the webinar. To start, on the screen now is the conference agenda. At the conference, which is taking place at the Maritime Hotel Berlin between 2 and 5 p.m. on Tuesday the 6th of March, we've got some very knowledgeable speakers lined up who will cover market insights for the China and US markets, as well as specifics on the European cruise sector and transnational partnerships. As you can see, we have speakers from Viking Cruises, the Danube Competence Centre, Windermere Lake Cruises, High Seas International and AMA Waterways. The conference takes place in English with simultaneous interpretation provided for the Chinese delegates. The next event in Berlin programme is the matchmaking, taking place on the morning of Wednesday the 7th of March at the City Cube on the Messe Berlin showgrounds. I'll now provide an overview of the tools available which can be used to make the most of the events in Berlin. I'll start with how to use the appointment system for the matchmaking, and then talk a little about forming European partnerships, and then also partnerships with the Chinese and US market. In the first instance, you will have received your login for the appointment system. This tool allows you to select and rank the Chinese and US operators with whom you would like to meet at the matchmaking. You'll have until midnight tonight to complete these selections, upon which time the system will close and the matchmaking process will begin. Remember, you are making your selections, as are your counterparts. Both sets of preferences are taken into account. Ahead of the matchmaking, you will receive your preliminary appointments, which will allow you to prepare for your meetings. There may be some slight changes before the day of the event, when you will receive a final printed version of your schedule at the event venue itself. Here are a few comments from the previous matchmaking events on the experience and the other tips working with the US and Chinese markets.
We are very happy because we really have appointments, had appointment, and we still have it with a lot of Chinese partners. We, with pleasure, will visit us in the next year, and they will study new programs, and they appreciate it. We have staff who speaks Chinese, and that we have all programs and all products in Chinese language. This is very friendly for Chinese people.
Very useful to have an event when you have appointments prearranged for you. So to have slots for meetings and then coffee breaks and lunch when you can still do some networking, it's really helpful. So not a minute wasted. Yeah, I would absolutely recommend this event to anybody who would like to meet more buyers and suppliers from the European travel industry.
I think it will be helpful to us to promote in China as well for our partner or others relating travel agents who never come, because it will helpful for them. It's not only for the product but for the market strategy as well. Very wonderful day, and even though we're rushed, but is it very full with fun, happy and business talk.
I think it's absolutely amazing because I love the fact that I do hotel contracting, so it's very interesting year by year that I get more and more business coming through. So I remember the first time I started, I got maybe 20% of the business, and then because it was my first year, so I didn't know anyone, and then year by year, and now it's by meeting more people involved within the area that I'm doing, which is Italy. And it's amazing. I have all my appointments are fixed. I have all the hotels I want to meet. You have your 12 minutes where you get the chance to introduce yourself, you exchange business cards, and then usually I would get 80% of the business coming up from it. So I'm meeting them here, and also so that the atmosphere is very relaxed, which I think is very good when you're doing business. It's really productive business-wise, also because you are meeting exactly the people you want to meet, and like the guys in Gen, they do an amazing job when you receive the list, and they try really the best to accommodate all the people you want to meet. So,
from our experience, the best advice we can provide to you are: be open and receptive during meetings, even when areas of mutual interest might not be immediately obvious. Make the most of your 12-minute slot. Remember that your appointments have been based on your preferences as well as those of your counterparts. For the Chinese markets, these buyers are looking for new products directly from the suppliers. Show them what you can offer to make their tours different from their competition. Don't worry about the language barrier. All of the buyers either speak English or have been provided an interpreter. A Chinese version of your company description has been prepared in the event directory, so use this as a basis for your conversation. Get in touch if you would like to receive this in advance. I'll be sending around a link to further Chinese market resources during the Q&A section. For the US market buyers, these will mostly represent clients serving return clients. As you will see in next week's US webinar, there are certain specifics for this market, including security, niche products, and family travel. Partnerships in European tourism is not only about making new business directly with the target markets, but the programme is there to assist European contemporaries to find mutual selling points, areas of cooperation, and the transfer of best practice, i.e. intra-European partnerships. You'll meet your European colleagues at the events in Berlin. However, this project also provides you an online forum where you can connect with your colleagues and partners to explore and discuss new ways of marketing and promoting your offers to the inbound market to Europe. If you haven't already done so, make sure to sign into the Partnerships in European Tourism portal, where you can see information about forthcoming events, access to resources, and search your potential partners. You can communicate directly or mutually contribute to the group forums available. I now hand over briefly to Christopher Marzan, Product Manager ITB, who will go over the facts and figures of ITB Berlin and provide a helpful profile of the attendees and exhibitors. If this is your first ITB, then it will be a good introduction of what to expect. If you've been before, you may learn about new developments at the show. I'll be back afterwards to field your questions.
Hello to you from Berlin. Thank you for your time and for your interest. We at ITB believe in bringing the world together. We do so by organizing events that enable destinations to meet in a pleasant and fruitful atmosphere. ITB stands for a unique success story which was made in Berlin. Starting in 1966, ITB has developed into a truly global success, comprising ITB Berlin with its international focus, ITB Asia in Singapore, which is Asia's leading travel trade show, and ITB China in Shanghai, with its special focus on China. The ITB brand stands for growth, expertise, and internationality. Today, ITB Berlin is the leading trade show of the worldwide travel industry and the foremost business platform for global touristic offers. After 5 decades, ITB Berlin has grown to over 10,000 exhibitors from 180 countries, 114,000 trade visitors, 160,000 total visitors, and has a turnover of 7 billion euros. ITB Berlin opens on the 7th of March for trade visitors, and then for the general public from the 10th of March. With its unique diversity, ITB Berlin covers the entire value-added chain of touristic offers. Despite its size, ITB Berlin features a clear, logical structure. The whole layout has a geographic organization according to destinations such as Asia, Europe, or America, and is also divided into segments such as business, mic and leisure travel, cultural tourism, luxury, medical tourism, or travel technology. These examples show that the 41 exhibition halls of ITB Berlin, with a total of 160,000 square meters, offer a vast amount of input and inspiration for your future business. In addition, ITB Berlin offers the ITB Berlin Convention as the leading travel industry think tank. The ITB Berlin Convention consists of 200 events in which global trends are focused in presentations, lectures, discussions, and workshops. 400 renowned speakers discuss innovative business models as well as today's burning issues and are heard by some 28,000 participants. ITB Berlin has a very high exhibitor satisfaction rate of over 90%. Let me give you 2 reasons why the exhibitor satisfaction is so high. Firstly, we start you off early with the ITB Academy, which is basically the How to ITB. Preparation tips, video tutorials, exhibitor checklists, exhibitor guide, and an ITB toolbox offering various tools, platforms, and networking events to assist you to take you further and be productive in Berlin. Check the ITB Academy on the ITB Berlin website to find how you can prepare your visit better. Secondly, the ITB app, designed to assist you in planning your visit to ITB Berlin efficiently, as well as guide you through the time you are at the event. We recommend downloading the app prior to your visit to Berlin. It is free and once installed has no need of an internet connection. To summarize, ITB Berlin has international significance and attraction as the world's leading travel trade show and 50 years of experience in successful trade show organization. ITB Asia and ITB China offer a specific regional focus. The ITB Berlin Convention shows the future with cutting-edge knowledge in touristic topics. ITB Berlin offers extensive show preparation and execution with the ITB Academy and ITB app. And not to forget, Berlin offers endless possibilities as one of the most popular cities in the world. So, see you at ITB in Berlin, Shanghai, or Singapore. Thank you.
I don't see any coming through, but feel free to have a think and let me know. In the meanwhile, I've got a few handouts for you in order to prepare for next week. So in the first instance, I'm just going to share with you the report recently published as part of the Partnerships in European Tourism Programme on the Chinese market. So that's a bit about the market research and the background of the state of the Chinese market at the moment. Very shortly, we'll be publishing a similar report on the US market, so therefore both markets present next week will be covered there. Ahead of that publication, we're also having a dedicated US market webinar next week, which will be very informative. I'm sending you the profile of that particular one there. We've got a great list of speakers coming to that event on the webinar next Thursday. You'll see from the handout there's a research presentation, a number of case studies, and then a Q&A question as well. So if you have any burning issues on how to deal with the US market, then that's one for you. Other things, I'm sending out a link now to the Berlin website for the event at ITB Berlin. On that page, you'll find all of the up-to-date information on the attendees, the precise agenda for the conference, where the European Commission stand will be based, etc., etc. So that's the go-to place for the information for the events in Berlin. Also, that's the Partnerships in European Tourism portal. So if you haven't already done so, please sign up there, and then you can start engaging with the intra-European partnerships aspect of this project, where you're encouraged to talk to your contemporaries within Europe to discuss your areas of mutual offer for the inbound markets. So, and then also my colleagues here will need me to remind you that the deadline for your appointments requests are this evening. I've got a question here from Roger. How many meetings will we be able to have during speed networking on Wednesday morning? So there are 18 slots on Wednesday morning. So we go from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. You will have half of those slots you'll be able to apply for, and then your counterparts will apply for the second half, and then the computer works it out and you'll be given a full agenda. It's a very good ratio for this event, so you should have quite a good lineup of events. So I hope that covers your question. Ralph says, do we need any product aimed specifically at the Chinese visitors, but would be interested to adapt to our existing products and develop new products for them? Do you have any advice to meet up with the buyers and suppliers? Anyway, very much so. So we've always thought that the B2B matchmaking setup is a very good low pressure way of exploring possibilities. So you'll be able to hear from the buyers, be they from the US or China, and listen to what their expectations are and their requirements are for their clients. So if you don't have anything ready for that market, then this will be a way of understanding what you need to do in order to engage with that market. If you already do have something for that market, then you can already start discussing that with potential customers. So it's a mix, and specifically on that question, I would definitely recommend having a look at that market snapshot that I just sent around, and also check on the portal, the link of which I sent around. There's lots of videos on there from the China market seminar and webinars that we've been doing over the last year, and there's lots of information about matching your products to the market, specifically for the China one. And as I said, next week we'll be doing the same thing for the US market. Okay, so that's really all I have for me, unless anybody has any extra questions. A recording of this will be available after the webinar finishes, so you'll be able to watch back in case you missed anything. But I really do invite you also to sign in for next week's US market webinar as well, because it's a really good lineup of speakers. So I'll just give you a few more moments to submit any more questions if you have that, either in the chat function or in the questions box. Don't see any other things coming through. Speak now, or other than that, we look forward to seeing you in Berlin. Do get in touch if you have any questions regarding the event. Oh, we've got a few more just coming in. Will there be any problem in my materials in English for the Chinese market, says Marina. Obviously, Chinese is best. And as I said during there, we've also done a translation already for you of your company description that you provided when you registered for the event. So just email us over if you want a copy of that, or pick up a copy of the directory on the day and you'll see your version of the Chinese version of your company description ready just to hand over and discuss with them. As I said, they all have interpreters with them, the Chinese buyers. However, perhaps something in native language is a good conversation starter. For the seminar, Alex, I sent a link around, but I can email you a link for the webinar again. That will be on next Thursday, the 1st of March in the afternoon, so 2 p.m. GMT or 3 p.m. in continental Europe. Okay, thanks very much, and we'll see you in Berlin.